kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody once again to the Ghost Xfinity series live on ESBN. From the desert of Las Vegas, last week we head north to Brooklyn, Michigan, home of Michigan International Speedway and home of the 70-lap race that is about ready to happen. They are just wrapping up practice here, got about 3 minutes left and they're going to start their qualifying run. Last week we saw pit strategy play quite the role. Saw a few guys early not take tires, and that proved to be detrimental. Came back with tires, and they finished the race on the best tires. Rob Hadenbach brought home the victory, but Lucas Whitehead has been dominating in qualifying. We'll see if that continues tonight. He was on the pole in the first two races and is looking to improve on last week's runner-up finish to hopefully bring home the win this time. Like I said, looking for 70 laps around this D-shaped oval. Probably going to see some 2 and 3 wide action because it is pretty wide and it is pretty fast as well. While we got a minute while they're doing this, let's look here at the points. after 2 races. As you can see there, Rob Hadenbach's leading the point with 167. Lucas Whitehead right behind him, and Daytona winner Jordan Darnell is only 13 points back. But this is anybody's race, as we're still headed to the playoffs. And it looks like this week we're gonna have, right now there's 15 cars in the field, so it's gonna be a pretty big race when they get started. Look here at the race info. It's a 2-mile D-shaped oval. 70 laps, like I said. It's 82 degrees right now. Track temp is slightly higher than that at 95. Let's jump on board as we watch some of these guys go around. Paul Ferdiani had a pretty good performance last week going until he round up in a couple incidents. Got a couple new shooters in here, it looks like. Right now, Charles Whitehead has had the best lap. Looks like he's been out there about 12 corners, sitting at a 39.43. Joey Logano actually holds the record here for the fastest qualifying lap of a 37.157 in an Xfinity car. These guys are not quite there, but we'll see what happens once they take the track as they're getting ready to start qualifying. Like first on the track, gonna be Johnny Williams. The Speed Energy number 7. Last week's winner for Hupka Motorsports, Rob Hadenbach, is out on track as well. Watching these guys in practice, they've been slipping and sliding a little bit, so have to let the tires get warmed up and see if they can get it to stick. Lucas Whitehead is on track as well in the Wrangler number 3, silver and black. See who's gonna be the first one here to throw up a qualifying time. Got Brian Timpany out there for North-South Motorsports, starting his qualifying lap. Same with you for midnight threat level. Johnny Williams throws up a 40.26. Rob Hadenbach right behind him throws up a 39.75. See if they're going to be able to improve on that second lap or if it's just going to be one and done. But we have Lucas Whitehead just finished his lap, 39.48. The fastest lap we saw in practice was a 39.43 put up by Charles Whitehead. Brian Tiffany just jumps up there and busts Lucas Whitehead by hundredths of a second. Shane Ledoux finished up his lap with a 39.96. Newcomer this week, Align. I'm messing it up. Just finished his first lap with a 39.95. Matt Bentley coming to the start-finish line. Like he slid up the track a little bit. Gonna come through with a 39.8. Week 1 winner Jordan Darnell was a 45.6. Jeffrey Radke had a horrible qualifying run last week. Started at the back of the field, worked his way all the way up to the front. Probably led the most laps, but just wasn't able to hold off Heidenbach and Whitehead. He is up there in third place now with 39.53. If he's going to be able to best that. And he does, a 39.34. Radke goes right to the top of the board there. Maybe it's just that Xfinity Toyota. Only Toyota in the field. Like we got Stephen Ford out on track. Down to 39.67. He's going to be able to best that on lap 2 as you see him get a little squirrely there coming out of the corner. Up into the wall, and he is not going to be able to best that lap. Matt Erickson out on the track. North-South Motorsports. Joe Bennett just completed his first lap for North-South Motorsports as well with a 39.71. Jeffrey Vickery saying, let's go threat level midnight in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Jeffrey. Logan Russell says, let's go pork chop. Joe Bennett coming to the finish line here. And he goes to the top of the board with a 39.30. Matt Erickson finished up his first lap, 39.82. way around the track here. Matt Erickson just went a 39.48 and is on the second row. Charles Whitehead, the fastest car in practice, if he's able to throw down a qualifying run in that Rusty Nuts Repair Camaro. Oh, he did not have a good run there. 40.55. Let's see if he's able to get that better here or not. Didn't test it much at all. So that will do it for qualifying. Everybody taking a qualifying lap. We are sitting at 15 trucks, or 15 cars. The 00 of Joe Bennett sitting on the pole. These guys a second to get ready to grid up. All right, so we got Joe Bennett starting on the pole with a 39.301. Jeffrey Radke on the outside. And at 51. Matt Erickson, Brian Tiffany in row 2. Lucas Whitehead is going to find himself in a position he hasn't been in thus far on row 3 with Rob Hadenbach on his outside. Row 4, we got TJ Allen and Paul Ferdiani. Stephen Ford, Matt Bentley in row 5. Johnny Williams and Jordan Darnell, row 6. Row 7, Corey Stahl and Shane Ledoux. And Charles Whitehead is going to bring up the rear. But as we looked last week, it doesn't matter where you start, where you're going to wind up finishing. Because Radke last week wasn't able to put down a good qualifying lap, came back through the field and was out front most of the race. Wally Babs in the chat cheering for Threat Level Midnight as well. Pace car drops down to the inside. And they're going to get ready to go with Joe Bennett in control as they reach the Geico restart zone. And he is down and away. He is off to a good start. Has a teammate sitting right behind him, it looks like. He will float up to the outside and get in front of Jeffrey Radke. Radke on the outside. Ericsson down on the inside. Lucas Whitehead's looking to pass him on the outside. Looks like Ericsson's going to drop back a little bit as Radke drops to the inside. He's going to try and make a pass on Bennett. When he does so, see if that outside lane can carry some speed and come back on him, or if he's going to try and cross him over. Not quite enough speed. So fall into line. We got some three wide action back behind him with heading back on the inside. Steven Ford and new truck is TJ Allian. Hadenbach slides up in front. Steven Ford makes a move and jumps in front of Matt Ericsson. Allian makes the same move. Now they're pretty much single file. You get back to, it looks like 10th or so back here. Radke just ran the fastest lap of the race, even though we're only 3 laps in at 39.71. Paul Ferdiani's on the outside, going to make a little bit of a move as Jordan Darnell tries to jump inside of him. Ferdiani's in the wall. Like he scraped it for a little bit. No caution is out. He'll lose 4 or 5 positions. Jump back up front here. Radke is out to a little over half-second lead. Lucas Whitehead just makes a pass on the outside to Joe Bennett. Joe Bennett's going to fall in behind him. Try and catch that grab. Maybe work together, but looks like they're using all this track. It's one of the widest and fastest tracks in NASCAR. I'm back down to the inside of Bennett. Bennett has to stay high. Looks like he was looking to kind of drop in a little bit, but he'll stay up towards that wall. Found out last week, Hadenbach got his first league win ever last week, and he was really excited about it. Looks forward to hopefully getting a few more. Steven Ford is under pressure from TJ Allian. He is right on his back bumper, not giving him in. Jumps down to the inside, is going to make that pass on Steven Ford. Ford is still trying to hang with him on that outside line, but not quite enough. Ford lets him pass, drops down to the inside, going to try and make a pass on the inside. Just not quite enough speed to stay up with that 69 Ford there. Meanwhile, up front, Hadenbach made a move on Whitehead down to his inside, and looks like he's going to try and complete that pass. But Whitehead is not giving in so easy. Like that, Hupka Chevy just doesn't quite have enough to clear him through the corner, but he's one of the only cars you see down on that bottom line. Everybody else seems to be staying up higher. as it looks like we've settled down a little bit. Let's go back to the field a little bit. Jeff Radke in a 51. Threat level midnight car there. Then you have Lucas Whitehead in the silver and black Wrangler number 3. Rob Heidenbach in the Hupka Motorsports number 5. Joe Bennett there in the 00 for North-South Motorsports. TJ George 69. TJ Allian. Threat level midnight with Stephen Ford driving the 27 Chevy. North-South Motorsports, Brian Tiffany in the Ford in 7th right now. Matt Erickson, also for North-South Motorsports. Matt Bentley behind him. Matt Bentley's found himself in a couple tight spots in the last couple weeks, but at Daytona had a little damage, took a little gamble to try and make it to the end on fuel, wound up a couple laps short. The 66 of Corey Stahl in the threat level midnight, looks like he's gonna close the gap on Bentley. Speed Energy number 7, Johnny Williams. Remember, the threat level midnight as well. 12 Chevy. Gordon Darnell, the 21 Chevy for threat level midnight. Charles Whitehead, Rusty Nuts Repair, number 8 Chevy, and Paul Fergiani had a little hiccup early and hit the wall. Looks like Charles Whitehead just did so as well there. We will go back up front here. Look at the leaders. Radke's still up there. Has about a half-second gap over Heidenbach. Whitehead behind him. Bennett right on his back bumper. Looks like Alan got in the wall. Had to slow down there and get it back under control, but we stay green. As we come to 13 laps. Race, it looks like Heidenbach's gonna try and jump down to the inside and give Radke try and take the lead. These two last week were back and forth a little bit as well. It almost seems like Wally Bad might want to take another paint job for Radke here. This is another paint job. Hey, I guess it doesn't matter what you look like when you're running out front, right? Heidenbach is still down to his inside. Whitehead starting to close the gap as well. These three cars are within less than half a second. Heidenbach takes the lead. Radke falls in behind him. But both of these cars seem to be running completely different laps as far as where they're running on the track. But it looks like Heidenbach's gonna kind of stay up and stay in front of Radke a little bit. He was running closer to the bottom. He's one of the only cars that were making that bottom line work, but once he got to the front, He's running that middle to high line now. These guys do have 15 laps on that tire, so we'll see if tires are gonna come into play like they did last week. What's the next lap? We'll take a look at some of these sights and sounds as they go around the track. I'll go up here to the starter cam we had earlier. Able to pull away a little bit. He's still got about a 0.2 of a second lead, but Whitehead has fallen off. He's almost a second back from the leader. Joe Bennett's a second back from him. But as we do that, we're gonna step aside here for a minute and pay some bills. Get it in the chat. Let me know who you're rooting for and you want to maybe see to get some. Oh, hang on. Hadenback is coming to pits. He will hit the pits on lap 18. Looks like Stephen Ford is in as well. Berdiani's in. Looks like we had 3 cars starting these pit stops here. Radke took over the lead. So we'll see if these guys stay out and stretch it a little bit. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you're in the chat, go ahead and tell me who you like, who you want to maybe see get a little more screen time, who you're rooting for. Anything you want to talk about? I'm here as you see Lucas Whitehead's slowing down, but coming to the pit lane as well. Corey Stahl, Joe Bennett, Brian Tiffany, all hit pit lane. Looks like North South Motorsports is coming in pits. Jordan Darnell's in as well. Radke's still staying out. And while you're there on our YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. We get notified every time we go live. We go live pretty much 7 days a week, multiple times a day. Got a little bit of something for everyone. We got truck racing, car trucks, Xfinity, Xfinity, road racing. Like Charles Whitehead is headed into the pits now, as well as Shane Ledoux. Looks like Lucas Whitehead might have taken just right sides only. He was in the pits for under 9 seconds, so it's like he just took fuel and maybe right side tires. Everybody else behind him looks like they all took 2 tires. Looks like Matt Erickson is in there getting some damage fixed. Lucas Whitehead, after that round of pit stops, has taken off the lead. He's got about a half-second lead over Radke. And he has back right behind him. Radke is loose all over the track. He came out and got a little too much bill pedal on there. A little too soon coming out of that corner. Heidenbach takes over the lead, just ran the fastest lap of the race for 39.62. It looks like Radke's able to get that car back under control and passes Whitehead for second place. Like what I said, might be coming to conclusion here about tires. Heidenbach and Radke passed Whitehead like he was standing still, and now Radke's almost got a almost 2-second lead over Whitehead. We'll go ahead and take a break right now and not miss a thing.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
While we were away, you guys saw Radke pass Heidenbach for the lead. Like it doesn't look like anything. Find that speed that he had earlier. Drops down to the inside and makes that pass. I'm riding back there. Now he's out to over a second lead. Drop back here. Heidenbach, and then we have Stahl. He's up 10 positions from where he started in that 66 Chevy. Threat levels making a little push there to the front. And we have Lucas Whitehead. Looks like him not taking tires is hurting him quite a bit. He's falling back. He was up front, and then he is now back in 8th position. But only 3 positions off where he qualified, so he's still running pretty well. Still a lot of race left. If he can just hang on, he might be able to make some pit positions. These 4 cars battling back and forth. You got 2 North-South Motorsports down on the inside, and you have the threat level 27 of Stephen Ford on that outside line. And all 3 of them seem to run different lines as Stephen Ford gets into that outside wall. That happened a couple of times. It looks like Bertiani is starting to close the gap a little bit after having a little trouble early. Whitehead and Ford. Looks like they might be kind of working together here. The field's starting to spread out a little bit. Whitehead is starting to bring that number 8 Chevy back towards the front at least a little bit. He started at the tail end of the field after having a hard time qualifying, but he was the fastest car in practice. Up 5 positions, currently in the top 10. Jordan Darnell and Matt Bentley are battling right now for 11 and 12. Jordan Darnell, Daytona winner. Lose a little bit of ground there after closing it up pretty quick. We got 12 Shane Ledoux. Donnie Williams running a little slow down towards the bottom. Looks like he's going to bring it into the pits. Matt Erickson. He's having a rough week. A little trouble early. Back up front though. Radke is running away with it, but Adbach doesn't seem to be in much of a panic after last week. Last week he made the mistake of only taking fuel on one run and dropped clear back to last. Looks like the second of Johnny Williams is making a mistake. KG Sim Racing says the Flash is fast. Watch out, boys. Like these first 3 cars are separated by about 8.5 seconds from first to third. We got about a second and a half. 69 Florida TJ Holland. Battle on the track with Jordan Darnell, Charles Whitehead. Darnell and Whitehead still battling back and forth. Rob Heidenbach jumps to the pits. Looks like he's gonna try and keep his pit laps all about the same. He's still out there in front of that 8.5 second lead right now. Whitehead also jumps to the pits. That's Whitehead only took the jumps up to the stop as well this time, so I don't know about that call. The way it seems like tires are going to be important. The way they're running anyway. Radke's still out in front. Paul, biggest mover at the moment. Up 11 positions in that 66. That even for a couple midnight as he's heading to the pits. Bennett, Berdiani, all headed to the pits. Probably can see a couple of guys getting to the pits as well. About 19, 20 laps is what they're thinking for pit window. We got about 30 laps to go this time. Ryan Tiffany comes to the pits. The 7 of Johnny Williams is a couple laps down at the moment. Racing for position. Whitehead. Lap 20, Matt Bentley also lap 20. Leader is headed to the pits this time. Allianz following him in. Probably where they come out. This right here would be the battle to lead that lap. See if they're going to be able to make it back to the start-finish line to get that point. As it looks like Whitehead is headed to the pits. The dude made the pass there, and he is out in front. Like he was able to just come out in front of Brad Heath. Bentley is falling back a little ways. If Shane can lead this lap and get that all-important bonus point. He's up 13 positions right now as he is headed to the pits. It doesn't look like he's going to get that bonus point as Heidenbach passed him. He's going to pass him before he gets to the start-finish line. Last week's winner is currently out in front. He pitted 4 laps before Radke, and Radke's closing that gap with every passing second. It was a second and a half, and now it's down to half a second and about half a lap. So Radke definitely has found something. As you see, it's like 46 of Matt Bentley down on the edge of the track. Radke just flew by Heidenbach like he was standing still with 4-lap fresh tires. Looks like it's making all the difference as Radke put down a 39.53, the fastest lap of the race. That's on by as well. currently, like we're sitting with 8 cars on the lead lap. Matt Denley is just now hitting the pits. Looks like he might have tried to stretch it a little bit too far and ran out of fuel. We'll see. Looks like Radke is almost putting on a clinic here. He just bested his last lap with 39.46. So he is definitely running away a little bit from Heidenbach and Stahl. Looks like quite a gap from everybody on the track, so all there is. Come down here and we'll just go through the field real quick with 45 to 70. Radke has led most laps. Other wind up leading most laps in the race for threat level midnight. 51 Toyota, the only Toyota in the field. Up to Motorsports, Heidenbach last week's winner. He's been running really well. Just doesn't seem to have anything for Radke at the moment. See if he can find something on the money stock. Corey Stahl, 66, threat level midnight. Steven Ford's up 5 positions. 27, Chevy. Lowell Mass, threat level midnight as well. Lucas Whitehead, looks like he's been the only one kind of gambling a little bit. Like he only took one side of tires and a little bit of fuel. So he is making a pass on Stephen Ford right now. TJ Hollian, newcomer to the field for his race. Up 1 position, sitting in position 6 right now, looking to pass Stephen Ford down on the inside. Working that Shark Week beat. Shark Week gone to Discovery here this week. There's Brian Tiffany. Grey Goose, North South Motorsports number 35 Ford. Joe Bennett, Jacksonville, Florida, double deuce. 00. Wow. North South Motorsports. Charles Whitehead is up 6 positions after having a bad qualifying run and a rusty nuts repair. Number 8 Chevy. He's trying to not get passed by Hancock there on. He's coming up behind him. And the dude, threat level midnight, number 12. Rudy Annie. 33 Ford, sitting in position 11. Donnie Williams, who come up to the series. Matt Erickson, number 2. Jordan Darnell, threat level midnight. We have Matt Bentley, 46. Back up front. Radke, Heidenbach, then you see Stahl starting to close in there. Looking back here though, it looks like Heidenbach only took fuel and maybe right side tires, but he's able to make it work a little bit. He isn't losing too much ground to Corey Stahl there. But Stahl is closing the ground pretty quick. Less than less than a quarter of a second at the moment. But Radke's up in his own race, almost 11.5 seconds in front of this. So as we have 19 laps to go, Pace and Bills go side by side. Over here, YouTube channel, hit me up in the chat, ask me questions, ask me whatever you like. Who you're rooting for, who you think's gonna win, how this race is gonna go after last week being drawn out and the week before being one heck of a finish. Let's see how this one ends. Once again, this is
drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
as we come back here. Look, while we're away, looks like Hadenbach took his final pit stop on the 51. Took his 4 tires of fuel that time. See if we can cut into this lead of Radke. Might be a little bit too little, too late. As Radke comes into the pits now. Corey Stahl's gonna take over the lead. Also back towards the front, currently in 3rd position after qualifying on the pole position. But Radke is already in and out, made his money stop, and see how much time hitting early is going to help him or hurt him. Radke just has been basically a man on a mission after last week and not coming home with a win. Back in the leader, giving a little time to stall. Currently last pitted on lap 38, where he will be still has to come in sometime soon. Everybody else has been making about 20, 25 laps. So unless he can stretch it, but saw how that worked at Daytona. Came in just a little bit short. Joe Bennett's into the pits. Looks like, whoa. Looks like Whitehead was all over the track. Stays green and he's able to get it back under control. And Radke just ran the fastest lap of the race at 39.28. Stalls into the pits, which leads Allian to inherit the lead. He's got about a 19-second cushion right now on Radke. He still will have to pit. He last pitted on lap 40. Whitehead just got into the back of him. Ran up on his back bumper and went right into that wall. Able to save it and stay green. We are 10 laps to go. Looks like right now there are 4 cars on the lead lap. 69 Ford has a 16.5-second lead over Radke. He will have to pit, so he's headed to the pits this time. See if he can quote up and make the clean pit stop. So Radke is going to be back up front. As he doesn't come back around. With those pit stops, Heidenbach's able to close the gap a little bit, relatively. But Radke still has a 11.5-second lead. Last lap for Radke was a 39.8, but Heidenbach was a 40.55. So the 4-lap fresher tires seems to be doing the trick. Corey Stahl made his last pit stop on lap 58. And he just ran his fastest lap of a 39.91. Oh, and it looks like Adcock is back in the pits. I don't know what's going on there. Rocking pretty quick here. Stahl is now in second place, 21 seconds behind Radke. We have Radke, Stahl, Allian, Whitehead, Tiffany right behind Whitehead. Closest battle on track right now. Tiffany jumps to the outside. Might have to force it 3 wide with Charles Whitehead. And the number 8 in front of him. Whitehead jumps down to the inside. He's going to let Lucas and Tiffany battle it out. Charles Whitehead jumps back to the outside. These guys are going back and forth, almost touching. Whitehead almost into the wall. He's going to try and cross him up here, down to the inside. Whitehead's down to the inside, see who gets the better run off. It's like Whitehead is, Whitehead just barely maybe Tiffany comes right back. Whitehead gets right back to his back bumper. It's like a little over a half a car length to his inside. Just can't quite make the pass. Gonna duck in behind him and get sucked up to his bumper. See if he can make the pass from out of the corner again. Yeah, this is the closest battle on the track. Becky is still 20 seconds in front of Stahl. Like Tiffany's finally put away Whitehead. Gonna start to pull away a little bit. 3/10 of a second lead at the moment. Down to five laps to go. Radke's still up there. Pretty much running his own race. Probably listening to her as Bobby telling his kicking hearts. Get close to 70 laps. Jeffrey Radke is just putting 19 and a half seconds in front of Stahl at the moment. And Corey Stahl is 3.5 seconds in front of Alian. And Tiffany is only about a second in front of Whitehead at the moment. And then we have a 6-second gap back to Joe Bennett. We'll jump on board with our leader here and take a ride around the track maybe. Stahl is cutting into this lead, but with 2 laps to go, there is little hope for anybody but Radke to win this race. Final lap. Xfinity Series round number 3 at Michigan International Speedway. Radke coming through final corners here. Gonna pick up the W. Jeffrey Radke wins the race. Corey Stahl coming through 3 and 4 right now. 18 seconds behind. Corey Stahl. And then Alian. Tiffany coming through. Another top 5 for Lucas Whitehead. Joe Bennett. Stephen Ford. rough week for Hagenbach. Whitehead, Berniani, Erickson, Woods, Arnell, and Bentley. As we watch Radke burn it down here, these guys have been at the ready for That was a heck of a race by Radke there. Winning by final margin. Looks like it scored at 18.1 seconds over Corey Stahl. Threat level Midnight put on a clinic tonight, it looks like. We can guys up here. Next week we will head to Atlanta. The Xfinity cars there and see what they can do. Guys moved over. These guys can Hey Corey, it's Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Not too bad. All right, I was able to get you, but like the other guys haven't joined us yet. But congratulations on a second place finish. Like it race kind of fell apart for a couple guys, and you were able to take advantage.
Yeah, well, I had a really bad qualifying run. That didn't help. I had to get myself back up in the front. Other than that, I couldn't see what happened to the other guys. I was steady trying to get up there to the front.
Yeah, did you think you would have anything for Radke there and that rocket ship he
Oh,
was
no.
driving?
That guy was on rails. There's no catching him. So I was just happy to get my lap led. He was definitely faster than me all race. I was kind of struggling for majority of the race, just trying to find a line. I didn't get much practice this week, so I didn't really know the track too well. As the race went along, kind of came to me. Started getting a little bit faster and just solid pit stops, that helps.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like a couple guys kind of maybe took just fuel or just right side tires and kind of slowed him up a little bit. But it looks,
Yeah, I seen that 5. I didn't know his pit strategy.
yeah, I don't know after last week. Last week I thought he figured it out pretty good last week that tires were important in a track like this, but a couple pit
Yeah.
stops and it was like, ouch.
Yeah, with the amount of laps and the tires we have, you got to use them.
Yeah. Well, anybody you want to thank before I let you go? And
Thank my girlfriend supporting me, my friends that watch. I'm not sure if they're watching tonight. My team, my teammates, and you for broadcasting, Ghost for putting on the league.
all right. Well, look forward to seeing you next week at Atlanta, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey, have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, TJ, this is Mike in the booth. You got a coffee?
I do. How's it going?
Not too bad. Hey, before I get started, how do you say your last name? I probably
It's,
murdered it.
You probably did. It's Elaine.
Elaine? Okay, yeah.
Elaine.
I'm like,
Yep.
okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I completely murdered it because I'm like, Alien?
I've heard it. Alien, Elaine, Alien. It's just been a bunch of different ways.
Yeah,
My
I'm
family
used to it.
inside watching probably like, that's not how you say it.
Yeah, well, last week I got corrected on Birdie Annie's, so I got that one
Yeah,
fixed.
that's
So, but anyway, congratulations on a top 3 finish, your first time in this league.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It's tough.
Glad we got more. I'm glad we got more cars in here, and you guys were able to put on a good race. No cautions at Michigan.
Yeah, that was a thriller. I wish I wouldn't have botched qualifying. I ran a low 4 in practice all by myself, so I was right up there in the speed, and I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just because I didn't spend any time practicing right before qualifying, and I just couldn't hit that lap. But it put me in the back of the pack, and this being my home track, man, I really, really wanted to win at this place, but I had to use a little bit of strategy and a 2-tire stop at the end just to try to get that 3rd place.
Well, the 2-tire stop seemed to at least help you a little bit. A couple times, it looked like a couple other guys that I did it a little too soon and kind of dropped them back a little bit in the field.
I was wondering if a few of them did, but that 2-tire, I mean, my left sides were still at 97 and 96% after one run. So that very last run, I said, screw it, I'm just gonna take right sides. I knew the car was gonna be loose. I don't ever know what I'm in. I'm always jumping around, but the car was crazy loose, and I was doing everything I could to stay up with the 2 guys that took 4, but I knew that the only way that I was going to be able to at least gain any ground on any of them guys was to take 2 tires.
Well, anybody want to thank on that car before I let you go celebrate, your top 3?
Yep, I would like to thank my teammate and partner, William George, Larson Parker, all the other guys, Edwards and Brock. Thank my family inside watching, CW Champion Raps, TJ George eSports, Onaway Motor Speedway, Lambs Motorsports, and I want to thank you guys for putting on this show, and thanks for Robert getting me in here, the 5-car. He asked me to come over here and run with you guys, and I think next week you'll see George in here and maybe a couple of our other guys.
That'd be good. You guys have been running pretty clean races, and I look forward to following more of them.
Yeah. That's what we like seeing. That's why we came over here. So we'll definitely be back.
All right. Thanks, TJ.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Jeffrey Radke. Got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
Awesome race tonight. Pretty much schooled the whole field. 18 seconds. What did you put in that thing for that?
Probably the new paint scheme. That's what I'm going to attribute it to. Had to christen it right.
Yeah, Wally Babb was in there saying that was probably the ugliest one, but you know. Anyway, congrats on the win. Improving from last week. Last week you led a bunch of laps as well, but this week you qualified well and were able to finish the race well. I just kind of attributed it to driving the only Toyota in the field, but
It's my Toyota Camaro.
yeah. Anyway,
And,
was that always
strategy.
kind of your strategy there, just to kind of split that race up and kind of maybe go a few laps longer than the guys who were pitting earlier?
The goal was to make it a 3-stop race. So the first stop I stretched a little bit just to be safe in case there was any late cautions. But once we kind of got spread out, I figured it was going to run green, and I just pit my normal strategy, and it seemed to pay off.
Yeah, definitely ran the fastest lap of the race by over half a second, so
And not too bad. Track
Yeah.
cooled off late in the race, so I was able to attack it with fresh tires.
yeah, I saw after that first pit stop, it looked like you came out of the pits and you floored it out of the corner or something, got on the gas a little too soon and went every other direction,
Yeah.
but you were able to keep it clean and go back to the front.
That was a definite hold on moment. Wasn't prepared for the cold tires, but we gathered it up and made it to the end.
Well, I'll ask you again. Anybody you want to thank for that victory there?
Always my wife, my son for staying asleep, and Threat Level Midnight for having me a part of their team.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys again next week at Atlanta. And if you guys keep growing the field like this and keep running like this, I look forward to more exciting races as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not sure if it's new Atlanta or old, but I'm sure either one will put on a good race.
Definitely. Well, I'll let you go celebrate your win, and congratulations again.
Thanks, guys. You have a good night.
Yep, later.
Later.
All right, that was your race winner. We will look here. At the finish, Brad Key in the 51 brings home the win this week. Corey Stahl finishing second. TJ Allen, Brian Tiffany, Lucas Whitehead, Joe Bennett, Stephen Ford, Heidenbach, Whitehead, and Ledoux round out your top 10. Berdiani, Erickson, Johnny Williams, Jordan Darnell, Matt Bentley round out the field. Once again, these guys put on a great race tonight. Look forward to seeing what they can do at Atlanta next week. Congratulations to everybody on their awesome runs. I look forward to seeing everybody next week again. Same time, same place. This is the Ghost Xfinity series on ESPN.